Hello and welcome. I'm Stanford Lifshitz, the director, the owner, the inventor of Master Pages Online. Your customers can find you for a handful of words, plain English words, no URLs, nothing like that. If you are a subscriber, if they are subscribers onto this service, and once they are subscribers, they're found on page one. It's as simple as that, without a URL. That's one of the many ways in which we are unique. There are many more. Making ads on the internet, organic ads. Enough of this claiming. Let me do some proving. So what I've done is, for demonstration purposes, I've created a draft of what your ads would look like. Obviously it needs a lot more targeting and discussion, but this is the way you can best see it. So I've created these ads, and they're not public until you and I discuss it. Then I switch it on. You can have a look. If you want to keep it, then that's great. If not, then I'll take it off. It's only up for a brief amount of time, in case you have any problems with the way it's presented at the moment. But let's go from there. Properties for sale or lease, rental, residential. Now these words in total are one. You normally don't count those, so properties, sale, lease, rental should also be fine. And I will check those in a minute. But let's assume that there are essentially 1, 2, 3, 4 words. Now these words, to be on page one without the name of the company, is about, there would be 1,630,000 results. And here you can see that there's only a handful. And for the clients for whom we are actually doing this, or have put up demos, which they are keeping up at the moment, here are the results. 1, 2, so it's numbers 2 and 3. And then this is for another group in South Africa, 4. So we're in the first 10 for those words. Now before we do anything else, let's have a look at some other options. Let's see what happens here. 868,000 results. Properties for sale, lease, residential. 1, 2, 3. Verse 3. Let's try properties, sale, lease, residential, without the 4 or anything. And there are fewer actually, 91,500 results. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're in the first 4. Let's now trace that through. We might also try just that to see what happens. Yeah, we're there, and that's 307,000 results for 3 words. On that basis, if I go back and instead of residential, it doesn't always work as predicted, but last time I took out the word residential. Now I'm going to have properties for sale, property sale, residential. And yes, well, it is there. It's in the first 10. There it is. So the next question that people do ask is, well, who uses YouTube? And the answer is just about everybody, because videos are the key. So let's go down and look at this one. Actually, I'd like to do the one before that. So there are 2. Now, I came across Richardson and Wrench through originally through John Hoggett, who is in the Zetland branch, and then I've added in John Hogg, and then over here I just want to point out that this is ours and it goes to a group in South Africa, Properties. However, let me if you might ask, how do we know? Well, that it's ours. Well, that's easy. You can see certain signs, and we also pointed out to you. Point I wanted to make was that let's see what happens then when people do go to this.
Investors. So today I run one of Australia's largest investment companies in property, that's Positive Real Estate. Really what we do is...
Now, Positive Real Estate are the current providers of your service, and it's an excellent job. However, we do the same thing, but I presume that the charges are in keeping with Google ads and YouTube ads, and if that is the case, then for those words this would cost a minimum for the whole franchise, I assume, of $1 million per month. Now, at this point I will point out that our charge is $14,000 US per year for the same service for these 4 words, plus another set of about 50 which we can then use, and yet this charge is the same per ad. Now that's an unheard of offer, and how we do it is based on the fact that we have found that Google Ads has, or rather AdWords, has set itself up as an auction of every word in every language in the human lexicon. And naturally, an auction means that there are a lot of buyers and the prices change all the time. How can we afford to do this? Well, it is costly for us as well. The $14,000 per annum covers our costs, but our real aim is to become your salespeople. So what we do then is that any leads that come through our particular system, we will negotiate a sales commission the same as you would with any other salesperson. Difference is we're virtual, and you may have lots of people who are on the phone or dropping flyers and so on. So let's look a little bit more closely. We've put those words in. We now have a video, and the video talks about whatever it is and gives, in this case it's a full lecture of 47 minutes length. And here in the descriptions, which people understand are, the part and parcel of the whole system of YouTube, are links. Now, the links can be many, and in fact we are increasing them, but they all lead to one of 2 spaces. The first leads to the original
Welcome to the Smart Property
video. So
today I run
that recognizes all the, from the point of view of copyright and so on, although when we're talking to customers we have their permission in any event. However, let's go back to this picture, and there are only 2 links here, but as I said, there will be many more. And I pushed that channel actually on YouTube, which is Master Pages Online, and it's a boutique business-to-business online advertising site. Why is it boutique? Because we don't accept anybody, whether they pay a fee or not. We only accept people that we are able to work with as business partners, because this is a full service, as I'll show you in a minute. But let's have a look here at remember that we found this through a general search. In fact, those are the terms that we used. There are many, many more terms, but let's have a look. Now you'll see here is a replication of the same video that you just saw. Along the side are other other people, other demos that we've done. Here's an estate agent. Here is the Children's Cancer Institute. Here are here's a video about the latest application for taxis, and what do people do when they come to this. Now, it doesn't look exactly like your website, but let's have a look. So let's push the buttons. Push the first button, which talks about appraisal, and you recognize it. And from there, the customer can go and do what they would normally do on your site. So it sends them to your site straight away. Now, location's interesting because people may be driving around, let's say, the Zetland area. Now, we can target whichever locations you want, and this is one of the whether it's local or international, throughout Sydney or just in certain suburbs, and we can do that in the ads. So here we go. Now this leads directly to the site, and when it's then and when it is then marked, it stands out amongst all the others. But this really is nothing exceptional, because basically it's what any map search does. Well, what would be exceptional is what we're going to do in a minute, which is to put in, rather than put in your actual address, we're putting in a handful of keywords. Now these are not unlimited. They're ones that would be chosen by you. Now you can see a whole lot of properties, not only from your group, but from all over. And so those are basically your competition, as you know. And so what we want to do is we want to find, we want to get above the competition. In order to do that, for properties for sale, we have to use rather properties for lease Sydney. So I'm going to put that in. But this is whatever you want it to be. Properties for lease, or properties, I think for will work, or it'll work without it, for lease Sydney. Now, keep in mind that we had all this competition. Now, let's see what happens when I push that button. Now, one of the properties nearby comes up. Properties for lease Sydney, and that's what I've been looking for in a particular area. I mark it, and now something very interesting happens. As you can see, we have the whole of the region. In fact, we have Australia. And it can be set up so that people from overseas will see it as well. At this point in time, if someone in South Africa looked, they would find it, by the way, if they use those terms. So somebody may be traveling to the country or considering doing so, and perhaps they're in China, and we can set it up so that they will find it. So getting back to, I've now illustrated a couple of things, and what I can really do is essentially put in any of these words. So perhaps selling your house, properties for sale, and then go through the same thing again as before. Let's do that. So I'm going to put in those words, selling your house, properties for sale, and I'm starting again. Remember that it's different to the words that we had before. Putting it in here, and interestingly enough, oh no, it is here. This is the South African one, which I might show you in a minute. And then we go to here, then from there we can go to your site. I'd like to show you one outside of the Sydney, in fact internationally, because we can operate anywhere. And so this person has also found us, selling your house, properties for sale, for those words. These words are somewhat different, and if I go to edit the video, I'm sorry, and if I go to the video, it's a cliche, and show here. Here's a case actually where I did put in a number of search terms. Let's see what happens here. There you go. Interestingly enough, I hadn't realized it. It's yes, it is sending you, despite the fact that it's advertising a South African entity. I had set it up so that it would go back to you. So somebody who's looking generally for property comes here, and they see, oh, well, this is a Sydney thing, but I'm interested in that, and then they go there. So I'm actually very, very pleased with that. I didn't realize that I was so clever. If I push this button, the first one, it really does take me back to property for sale for lease, where we started. So I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you'll be interested in what we're doing, and in which case please let me know, and I'll keep it going, of course, and talk to you. Hopefully, because I'm in Sydney, I can come and see you, which is always better than Skype, but not the only way of doing things. And if I can't, if you don't want to proceed, just send me a note, and I'll take it off public. And it would still be good if you put your name down on our. It would be good if you put your name down here. Put in as much or as little detail as you want to, and then we'll put you on our mailing list. And if at some time you have any interest in pursuing this, please let us know. Thanks a lot. Bye.